Join me as I try to explore Spain like a local, taking on the challenge of finding the best hidden gems and secret spots. When it comes to traveling, I think we've all been there. We want to experience the real essence of a country, but somehow we end up stuck in tourist mode, visiting the same old attractions as everyone else. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from that and truly experience Spain like a local? One of the biggest challenges travelers face when trying to connect with local culture is getting past the surface level. We book our trips, we read our guidebooks, and we follow the crowds, but somehow we still end up feeling like outsiders. I think part of the problem is that we're not always willing to venture out of our comfort zones and take a chance on something new. We stick to what we know and what we've researched instead of embracing the unknown and going with the flow. And then there's the language barrier. Not speaking Spanish can definitely make it harder to connect with locals and get insider tips. But even with all these obstacles, I truly believe that it's worth the effort to try and experience Spain like a local. Another challenge is avoiding tourist traps and overpriced restaurants that cater specifically to foreigners. You know, those places that have a picture menu and serve paella with a side of fries. Not exactly the most authentic experience. It's hard to resist the convenience of eating at a restaurant that has an English menu. But trust me, it's worth taking the time to find those hidden gems that only the locals know about. And then there's the pressure to see all the famous sites and landmarks instead of taking the time to soak up the local atmosphere and vibe. It's easy to get caught up in checking off a list of must-see attractions, but at the end of the day, it's the little moments and interactions that truly make a trip unforgettable. So how do you actually go about experiencing Spain like a local? For me, it's all about immersing myself in the culture and trying new things. Take, for example, the traditional markets that can be found in almost every town and city. These markets are a treasure trove of local produce, handicrafts, and specialties that give you a real taste of Spanish culture. And then there's the food. Oh, the food! From tapas to paella and from gazpacho to churros con chocolate, Spanish cuisine is all about rich flavors and hearty portions. And let's not forget about the festivals and celebrations that take place throughout the year. From the Tomatina Tomato Throwing Festival to the magical Feria de Abril in Seville, there's always something going on in Spain that's worth experiencing. One of my favorite experiences in Spain was visiting a tiny village in the countryside where I stumbled upon a local festival that was taking place. It was a warm summer evening and the whole village was gathered in the town square, dancing and singing along to traditional music. I joined in. And before I knew it, I was sipping on a cold beer and swapping stories with the locals. It was one of those moments that I'll always treasure, and it really showed me the value of taking the time to explore beyond the big cities and tourist hotspots. But the thing that really stood out to me about Spain is the passion and energy of its people, from the fiery flamenco dancers to the proud locals who will happily share their secrets and recommendations with you. There's a sense of community and shared heritage that's infectious and inspiring. It's a country that's full of life and vitality, and it's hard not to get caught up in the excitement and enthusiasm of its people. In the end, experiencing Spain like a local is all about being open to new experiences and embracing the unknown. It's about taking the time to soak up the atmosphere, to talk to locals, and to try new things. And it's about being willing to venture off the beaten path and explore beyond the surface level. Thanks for joining me on this journey of discovery. I hope you're inspired to start planning your own trip to Spain and exploring it like a local. If you have any tips or recommendations for local experiences in Spain, be sure to share them in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about traveling and exploring new destinations, be sure to check out my next video on top travel tips and tricks.